YouTube, how's it going? The GOAT House is back. Pro Bowl rosters announced on Monday, and today in this video, I'm going through the top 15 players that should have made the Pro Bowl. So top 15 snubs for this season's Pro Bowl. Every time I do these ranking videos, I shoot to do top 10, end up adding 5 more. I feel like I do top 15 a lot because there's always more players. Even with 15, there's always more players you want to throw in there that are deserving. And then people will probably let me have it in the comments. Where's this guy, that guy? But so I get the same result with 15. But we're going to have some fun with this. Top 15 players, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Follow our Twitter, constantly talking about the NFL. We were talking about the Pro Bowl rosters the second they went live, talking during live games. It's a must follow. If you don't have a Twitter, I'd appreciate it if you make one and give us a follow. You can find a link down below for that, as well as our Instagram, podcast, and Patreon, and for that sided app as well. You debate football, earn points, and win Amazon gift cards. Follow our page on there. If you're new, please subscribe. Full NFL coverage, weekly picks, score predictions, power rankings, videos like this, more full draft and free agency coverage in the offseason as well. We had a mock draft up this week, so those keep coming out here and there. In draft season, they're out like crazy. So check it out. I mentioned that Patreon link down below. A bunch of bonus content every week. Junior score predictions, my bets of the week for NFL, college football, bowl games for right now, updated playoff predictions. In the offseason, we got draft content. Right before we get started here, for this video is for the snubs. Who's the biggest surprise? I didn't want to make a video bashing guys for making the Pro Bowl. I think that would be a little weird. So I'll have you guys do that for me. You go to side. I'll put the link in the comments for this, pinned in the comments. You guys vote for who was the biggest surprise. Like, who did you not really think should have made it, who made it. And you, by voting and then commenting with your vote, click the debate button after you vote. And then people like your comment, you can earn points. Here's the leaderboards. And then, Amazon gift cards given out to the top 10 places. And that resets every single week. So pretty cool. Check it out. Start number 15. I wouldn't really pay attention to the order. I mean, all these guys are pretty even. 15 and 1. It's not too far off. This is the way I just decided to order them. 15, Devin White. Devin White's had a fantastic year, second year in the league. That defense really take that next step because how good their inside linebacker duo is. Devin White, extremely, they're a big factor on why the Buccaneers are a good defense and why they're able to, beat teams like the Packers and, have games like that, come back against the Falcons, is because they blitz extremely well. And Devin White is that key piece to the blitzing game. He's actually got a ton of sacks for an inside linebacker, off-the-ball linebacker. Off-the-ball linebackers got screwed in this video, or in the Pro Bowl, so we're going to see a lot of them in this video. They didn't get to the opposite of getting screwed. We're going to see quite a few of them in this video. And for a lot of these, we want to see if we can put a guy in and take a guy out for them to be a snub. And there's some really good players that are probably deserving that maybe didn't make this list because can you really take a guy out? But with the linebackers, they were all together, like off-the-ball linebackers and pass rush linebackers, which they should not have been together because they're two totally different positions. So for some of these off-the-ball linebackers like Devin White, you actually can take out one of those edge rushers that kind of was a surprising make and put a guy like that in. So Devin White, key piece of that defense, key piece of the blitzing game, which is huge for that defense. So he's number 15. 14, EMMANUEL OGBAH. Kind of a breakout player this year. I liked him a lot at Oklahoma State, so he was a little quiet to start his career, and I was a little surprised by that. But not the best chances. Never was the full load guy as the starter at defensive end. Goes to Miami. Brian Flores sees a fit. They start him. He's been fantastic. Key pass rusher for them. Van Noy can be, but sometimes that's a key player right there too, because he's off the ball at times and rushing the edge at times, blitzing at times. But who takes control of just strictly just rushing the edge, the every down edge rusher? EMMANUEL OGBAH does. He's made some big time plays. Getting his hands on the ball for, getting the ball loose for his team. He's always come out big. Look at the Cardinals game, which was a key win. Right off the bat, the only play the defense really made. That's just one of many examples, right in the beginning of that game. So I thought OGBAH has been a key piece to one of the better defenses of football. So he was kind of deserving, in my opinion. There's some edge rushers that probably don't belong, in my opinion, in the Pro Bowl. So I thought, we could have snuck him in there. So that's why he's number 14. 13, XAVIER RHODES had kind of having a year to revive his career, maybe. Off year the last 2 seasons, I guess, filled with injuries. the Colts take a chance on him. It's been fantastic. Been absolutely fantastic. He's been locked down. Early in the year, he's getting his hands on the ball, making big-time plays. Now, kind of like a lockdown guy like he used to be, which he was one of the best ones in football. And their teams are trying to focus on, attacking maybe downfield, hitting that seam in between the corner and safety, or attacking the opposite side of Xavier Rhodes. I think he's been fantastic. There's some corners that are definitely deserving, but I thought Xavier Rhodes definitely could have made it here. What he's able to do and I look at it. He made it last year somehow with a bad season, so that's kind of the way I look at that. This year way better than last year. So Xavier Rhodes, number 13 there. Number 12, Corey Linsley, arguably the best center, one of the best centers in football this year. And there were some questionable centers to make it, I suppose. But Linsley's been, you take a look at it as a whole. You take a look at pass protection and run blocking ability. He's at the top for centers in both of those categories. There's a couple other centers that were probably deserving. I thought Lindsey's maybe the more consistent guy here, the Packers center. So he comes at number 12 here on the snubs list. Number 11, TREY HENDRICKSON, who is towards the very top of the NFL in sacks right now. So looking at that, you definitely think he's a snub. And that's a big reason why he makes the list. He's getting sacks. He's getting production pressure. It's not that surprising, to be honest, though. Maybe why he's not high up on the list. It's kind of the Saints' fault that it's not like a shocker. And it's kind of a compliment towards him, too. The Saints, you look at Cam Jordan, great pass rusher. He plays about, close to 90% of snaps, probably a lot of time 90% of snaps in a game. Hendrickson's in that 50 to 60 range pretty much every game. They do have other guys they want to rotate in, and that's credit to Hendrickson. Limited snaps compared to most, guys that have that many sacks. So that's even more ridiculous for him. But yeah, maybe he doesn't get the recognition because of that. Maybe he's not playing as many snaps as who Frank Clark made it. I know one's AFC, one's NFC, just top of my head here, but so maybe that's on the Saints. Maybe they should play him a little more. They do have some other guys that are trying to get Davenport to reach his potential there. But, so that one's not that surprising, but he definitely is a snub because he's a fantastic pass rusher, impact player, getting better. I guess it's another thing, too. It feels like we're hearing his name more and more as of late, and, the Pro Bowl voting started a while ago, so that could be another reason, but definitely deserving. Number 10, Jordan Poyer. You started the year off a little slow, first couple games. Now he's really picking up. I think one of the bigger pieces of that Bills defense, flying around the field, just a total package safety, getting his hands on the ball, making those making plays at the right time, always attacking the ball, but, feels like a sure tackler kind of guy as well. So he helps with the run support in the pass game, but showing up, making that big play, for the team to, I guess, feed off of. So I thought Jordan Poyer, definitely some safeties, questionable they made it. Some good ones, but, we're talking about a limited amount of guys that make it. So Jordan Poyer, I thought, top 10 guy here for the snubs. Number 9, another Packer, Robert Tonyan, their tight end. Yeah, I thought, not too many tight ends make it, but I thought he'd be in there. Back when the Pro Bowl voting just opened, he was kind of a borderline guy. Because, up to that point, he had a couple games where he kind of showed out, but then ever since then, really started picking up, kind of being more consistent now. It's the key piece. The Packers keep trying to add these tight ends, that do have potential. They could be pretty solid, but this guy just keeps showing up. He's their best tight end in a high-powered passing offense. So, touchdown machine, too. It's just, there's a lot of weapons they could use to get in the end zone. The Packers have all kinds of guys. Rodgers could even run it in, including there's several running backs that can run it in. But Tonyan just continues to, I guess, find the end zone, get open in the end zone, make that grab, make that contested grab, whether he's open or not. So I definitely thought he was deserving. He's number 9 on the list. 8, another Saints player here, DEMARIO Davis, another off-the-ball linebacker. Off-the-ball linebackers got screwed. 4 of them made it. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's because some of those edge rushers, an edge rush such an important position, so I guess it's understandable why those guys are getting the votes, but there was some questionable ones. But DEMARIO Davis, talk about why edge rushers get, so much glory, I guess, so much recognition, because rushing the passer, one of the more important things in football. DEMARIO Davis has been blitzing quite more. The second half of the season, they been getting after the quarterback. That's been a key piece to the Saints defense, improving. Early in the year, a little shaky, but not DEMARIO Davis. He was always flying around the field, making plays in coverage, run game, sideline to sideline. So, I think that's that key. I think he might be, it feels like he's kind of that heart of the Saints defense, which is much improving, one of the better ones in football at the moment. So I thought Davis, another off-the-ball linebacker that didn't get the love there. DeForest Buckner of the Colts, really picking up recently too. I mean, he's been playing great the whole year, but really getting more pressure, more hits on the quarterback, sacks recently, making that big time play. See a game he missed in the Titans game, and they desperately missed him. You see how much of an impact he makes. You know, they add him in the offseason. The defense goes from, you know, kind of here to here because he's such an impact player there, you know, in the interior. And interior, you know, it might be the most important thing on defense in football. You know, if you can get interior pressure, it's completely game changing. So the tough one is here, yeah, taking guys out because it's one of my favorite positions in football, just interior defensive line, defensive tackle in this case. There's so many good ones in today's NFL. There used to be like only a handful. So that's why it's kind of tough. Maybe not why he's like top tier on the list, even though 7's pretty damn good, pretty high. Yeah, it's tough to find guys to take out, but yeah, he's definitely deserving, and I could find a guy to take out because he's deserving there. James Robinson at number 6, the Jags running back. You know, I think the fact that, well, I mean, with the production he's able to do, but you really think about it, you know, there's such a game plan problem for the Jaguars because nobody's really fearing the pass. They've been switching quarterbacks, even when, you know, Minshew's their best quarterback. When he's in, they got not much going downfield. It's kind of quick, small ball. You know, nobody's really fearing that pass game. They're not really backing up. You know, and James Robinson continues to have consistent days, productive days. The only thing the defense got to be game plan for is stopping the run, and he's still one of the, you know, only, you know, the few 1,000-yard rushers. So I think you got to compliment him in that way. You know, there's a lot of running backs thrown in this situation. They may not be as good, and it's hard to believe because he's an undrafted free agent, rookie free agent here, and yeah, that's probably why he didn't get in, because of the name, and he's not supposed to be anything that great. But what he's been able to accomplish, you know, given the circumstances, I think people aren't talking about. Like a, you know, game plan. That's what defense is all about. You know, try to turn a guessing game into a, you know, we're guessing right game, I guess. We know game. And you should know what the Jaguars are doing when you play them. It's a big reason why they're not really winning, but they're still really not stopping James Robinson. So that's where I give him the credit and why he's number 6 on this list. Number 5, another off-the-ball linebacker, inside linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The best inside duo in football. We've seen Devin White make the list, Lavonte David here, the heart of the defense. You've seen him maybe not as successful blitzing compared to Devin White, but not far off. He's a successful blitzer, very good in the run game, excellent in coverage, making plays downfield, pass deflections, getting his hands on the ball. So he's just an all-around backer. And it's really not surprising because he used to be a 4-3 outside. Now he's a 3-4 inside guy. Yeah, he is the key piece to that defense. He's the number 1 piece of that defense. And again, only 4 inside or off-the-ball linebackers made it. And it's tough to take some of those guys out, of course. You know, the NFC, Bobby Wagner and Fred Warner, those guys, they're well deserving, but they were together with some of those outside linebackers that are edge rushers, and that's where the flaw was of Pro Bowl voting. So you can take some of those guys out. There was quite a few that maybe we could take out for these off-the-ball linebackers like Lavonte David. We're not done with the off-the-ball linebackers yet. But Brian Burns is an edge rusher. He's an edge rusher for the Carolina Panthers. I'm a huge Brian Burns fan. This guy has got so much upside. I think he's going to be a top edge rusher in football. You know, we can be considering him one of the top guys in just a year or two, couple years. Could be at the top of the NFL in sacks. He's highly productive. You know, he's what's holding together that pass rush, sometimes that defense at times. He consistently gets pressure. He is very, very close to having an insane amount of sacks. Like, I think he's very close to leading the lead. In a lot of rushers are like that. You know, they're so close to getting this sack, so close. The quarterback just let it go. You know, but Brian Burns is on another level in that category. I wish he can finish and get those sacks, but he's constantly getting pressure. His pass rush moves are ridiculous. Such an impact player. Kept him in the game against the Packers last week. Was had several big time games. So I thought he was well deserving. I think he's one of the better pass rushers in football, it looks like, this year. So yeah, I like me some Brian Burns. Definitely one to look out for the future. We're on to the top 3. No, last off-the-ball linebacker here, Eric Kendricks. You can definitely debate this guy is the best off-the-ball linebacker, best middle linebacker in all of football because he's the total package type of guy. I mean, he's top tier, maybe the best in coverage, top tier in run support. You know, the instincts is ridiculous. You know, the Vikings with and without him, I mean, it's pretty ridiculous too. But he continues to make that play, you know, in the red zone, getting his hands on the ball to give the Vikings a shot to help them win the game. So yeah, I think if you ask people around the league, I think a lot of them will put him at the top of all the off-ball linebackers. So for him not to make make the cut here is pretty ridiculous. So that was a shocker to me. So he's number 3 on the snubs. So he's not even top 2, and this one was a lot of these guys were shockers, though. But those off-the-ball linebackers, they messed up. Pro Bowl messed up with those linebackers. They're key pieces there. 2, STEPHON TUITT, the defensive lineman, plays defensive end in a 3-4 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the best defenses in football. He's been highly productive. This guy's been extremely talented. This isn't really out of nowhere. He's been extremely talented, even in college. But since coming in, he's just kind of had these injuries here and there, so it's unfortunate. So I'm guessing people don't really, talk about TUITT like this big-name guy. I think Steelers defense, I think TJ Watt, Cam Hayward from the D-line, opposite of TUITT there. So, and I guess him in and out of games the last several years maybe caused that, but he's been healthy and he's been fantastic. Stopping the run, but getting after the quarterback, highly productive, getting after the quarterback, making plays. I think TJ Watt's taking kind of all the glory there, but there's a lot of other guys that contribute almost just as much, just about. So I think STEPHON too. I thought he was got to be close to a lock there. So extremely surprising there for STEPHON TUITT. And at number 1, my guy Jessie Bates here, I think, is the best safety in football this year. Just an absolute playmaking safety. Tough role in the back end, playing a lot of center field, which he pretty much has, the whole field. Very good reading the quarterback, very good stepping up, making the play, the pass, deflection, interception, whatever it may be. I think without a doubt he's been the best safety in football this year. And given the responsibility, how much responsibility he has. And he's one of my guys in the draft out of Wake Forest a few years ago. I had a first-round grade on him, so I'm excited, but I'm not surprised that he's taking that next step this year. So he could be the top safety for years and years to come. So he finds himself one. I'm shocked about that one too. I thought, not a big name. People weren't that high on him, even on a Wake Forest. But I thought people were really starting to catch on now. I really did. So there's 15. There's a lot of other guys that you could say are deserving. There's more deserving guys than there are roster spots. There's a guy like Ryan Tannehill that I want to put in here. I think Ryan Tannehill is playing like a Pro Bowler. He's fantastic. It's not Derrick Henry carrying the Titans. That pass game will hurt the other team as well. It's just tough to. Who you got? You got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson. Who are you going to take out for that? There's a lot of players like that. I really want to put a guy like that in here, but there's a lot of players that are deserving. Yes, they're deserving, but are they really snubs? Full on snubs. Because who are you going to take out? That's a tough part. You could make the debate. Should we be doing AFC, NFC? And I think a lot of people would agree with keeping that, or just put straight up the best players. I think a lot of people would agree with that too. Just no matter what it is, because some positions are just for some reason better in the AFC than the NFC. Opposite. So. There's a lot of guys we could talk about here. Like I mentioned, let me know your thoughts in the comments, who you think. Go to that poll that we'll have in the comments, pinned in the top of the comment section there, for who was the biggest surprise, maybe who you didn't really expect, or maybe who shouldn't have made it. That'd be pretty cool if you guys check that out. But yeah, let's discuss in the comments. That'd be pretty damn cool. Full NFL coverage here. We got all kinds of videos out for week 15. This is, or 16. This is already. And then only one more week. And then we got full playoff coverage. Then we got off-season coverage. It never stops here. So smash that like button, subscribe, turn notifications on. It'd be much, much appreciated. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.